how do you tie Amazon payments to QuickBooks Online? I have a client who sells on Amazon and I need to reconcile the payments. Great question. There are two ways to do it. Since you're asking me how I do it, I will let you know and I'll tell you why I do it this way. We get the details of those payments straight into QuickBooks. We do a direct, we do an integration between PayPal and QuickBooks. And the way we do that actually is one of our clients who does this, she actually sends us the Excel or CSV download from Amazon, although you can import directly into QuickBooks Online, which is fine too. But this is what we do. We get the information in the spreadsheet. The next thing that we do, and this has all the details. I mean, the date, the name of the customer and what was purchased and whatever. It also has three critical columns. One, the gross amount of the purchase, the fees that they deducted, and the net. And another critical part of the purchase is not only the date, of course, but the status of the purchase. If it was an invoice, it doesn't actually change the balance of your account. It's just a document. So you don't want to import an invoice, or you don't want to import a transaction that was declined or a transaction that's still pending. So there's some data curation that needs to be done first in order to only isolate the transactions that actually changed the account balance of your PayPal account. So we do all of that work in Excel. Then we do a little sorting and some filters to separate any money that went out from any money that came in. And we have those in two separate tabs. What we do at that point is we do an import into QuickBooks, and we only import the date and the net amount. And before we do the import, we add the income account. And we only add one income account. And we import all of these as deposits. Then we take that same spreadsheet, summarize it in a pivot table to get the fees and, if this is applicable, sales tax. We do then a journal entry that grosses up all of those sales from the net amount that we just imported to the gross amount. So we add to how much is showing on the financial statements for sales. We add to how much is showing in the financials for merchant service fees. And if there's any sales tax, we make sure to make a journal entry to record that those sales taxes were collected. So in accounting language, that's debit sales, credit sales tax payable. So that's how we do the mass import. We do the mass import of the net amount, and then we have two journal entries to gross up sales and show the merchant service fees, and we show the sales tax payable. Now I'll tell you why we do this. Because then we reconcile the PayPal account in QuickBooks. You know what? It's not always clean. In other words, if there's a transfer from your PayPal account to your operating account, maybe it cleared PayPal, but it didn't clear operating, or vice versa. Or maybe a transaction was executed, but it's still pending. You don't want to import that. And or maybe a transaction was somehow duplicated. You catch that in the reconciliation. The other approach, which is much more of a summarized approach, like summarize it in a pivot table before you import it into QuickBooks, I get that, but you'll never be able to reconcile the account. And for me, that's a problem. If in your company, if you don't care, if any differences are immaterial, you know what, more power to you and you'll save a lot of time. I've seen that more clients care that it's off because they wonder, well, how much is it really off by and what information am I missing? In general, I don't like to duplicate in QuickBooks what's already in another system, but we're not importing all the details. We're not importing the customer names. We're not importing what items were purchased. You can get all that information from your Amazon database. You don't need it in two places, right? So what we do is import the transaction details and we reconcile. And when we present those financial statements, the client is rock solid that these were my sales from Amazon because the PayPal account is reconciled. And that peace of mind is absolutely worth it. What the critical thing is getting that process down to a science. of how to curate the spreadsheet. Now I see Jennifer writing in, Amazon deposits directly into my client's bank account, not PayPal every 2 weeks. Got it. Okay. So I've been answering the wrong question, but for anybody who uses Amazon and PayPal, there you got an answer. So Amazon, so what you're looking to do is, okay, in that situation, what I'm assuming is that you have invoices generated from Amazon, that you're going to need those in your accounting system, and you're going to need to know what payments Amazon is making every 2 weeks to your customer to apply against what invoices. If that's the case, my question back to you would be, is there a system in place to import the invoices in the first place, only to Amazon, right? In this situation, you want to consider Amazon to be your customer. You don't need to duplicate in QuickBooks what's already in your Amazon records. You don't need to capture every single customer name in your QuickBooks Online file. So if Amazon is your customer, can you download a record of what purchases have been made, so you know by the end customer, so you know how much Amazon owes you. And then when those payments come in, apply those to the open invoices, so you can always have a record of your receivable from Amazon.